Hi, I'm Jenny Connor, an early childhood educator from Tasmania, and we're here today to talk about intentional teaching. So welcome to Judy Radich, who's going to share her rich experience with us.
Thanks, Jenny. Yes, my name's Judy Radich and I'm an early childhood educator. I've been working in early childhood for a long time now, and I manage a long day care centre in Tweed Heads in northern New South Wales.
There was another example that you were telling me about that was more what people might have in their minds when they think about intentional teaching or explicit teaching, more of a learning area, discipline-based. Can you talk about that?
Well, yes, that I guess before I just talk about that example, I would just like to talk about our service and how we use small groups as part of our program. Small groups for us are a daily thing that happen with a dedicated educator to each small group, and it's something we believe in. We know that children learn from these experiences. In fact, children now, if we miss a small group because we've got a visitor or something, children ask for us, you know, where's our small group today? And as much as the example that we're showing gives one, is just one example of small group. Small group can look different every day, and how small groups are set up and managed, they might derive from, say, a child bringing some seeds. So small group for a few days might be planting and nurturing those seeds. It might be we have some new equipment, and so the educator will talk to the children about and demonstrate even about how we might use that piece of equipment. Or it might be that a nest fell out of the tree that morning, and so as part of a small group they might do some research to think and find out about what sort of bird belonged to that nest. And so the small group that we are going to see was really based on an educator listening and watching children and hearing them talk about things like measurement and length, and comparing who was taller, who was shorter. And for this educator, I guess she knew that there was some maths and numeracy things that we have an obligation to talk about with children, and so she was really building on their interest.
So what did she do? And educators plan for the small group time, so she'd been watching and listening, and she knew what children were ready to learn and interested in.
Well, she wanted to build on what they were doing and what they were talking about. These are children that were going to be going to school in the next 3 or 4 months, so they were ready for some perhaps different experiences than perhaps what our toddlers would be ready for, or our younger 3-year-olds. She made a professional judgment, I guess, to use a material that children were really familiar with. So she used Play-Doh, which is a very familiar material for children, but it still has lots of possibilities. And she decided to just use that simple material of Play-Doh and give children a piece of Play-Doh and give them opportunities to roll that Play-Doh, and then using the language and the concepts of measuring. And so that's what they did. She also made some deliberate decisions that they would sit around the table and have conversations. And I think when you look at the vignette, you'll see that, for some people they might say that these children are waiting for a long time for their piece of Play-Doh, whereas others might say these children were really happy to wait. They were eager to be there. They were enjoying the conversations with the educator and with each other, and able to focus on the task at hand.
I thought it was lovely the way that it took the time for the group to settle, for her to finish conversation. She was really respectful to the individual she was in a conversation with. She included the other children, handed out the Play-Doh to each child, and it was a very gentle and calming beginning to a conversation, which is mathematical language. It wasn't like, everybody sit down and we will do this. It was a very natural way of going about it. So the children obviously learned a lot about mathematical language.
Yes, and I think some of them learnt new concepts and ideas, and it didn't just stop there. And I think, I guess that's one of the things around some of the practices in early childhood is you might think it's not just a focus on mathematics, and one experience isn't so tight that it only does that. I mean, there was lots of conversations, there was lots of cooperation, there was lots of comparing, and the children were active and involved and on task.
Okay, we had the Play-Doh yesterday, and what special things did we do with Play-Doh yesterday? Special? Yes, what else?
I I don't know because I wasn't here yesterday. Maybe even races? Yes. Yesterday it was raining and me and Samuel were sitting on that side and we got all wet.
You did. The rain came through. Did you hear that, what Rakeem just said?
No.
Yesterday when we were out here, what happened, Rakeem? Tell them again.
Me and Samuel were here and from there kids were falling down and back. So we needed to go inside.
And where did the drips come from?
The roof.
And what were they?
Maybe it was from the rain yesterday. And yesterday I built a fort with the table and went. Yeah, and yesterday, friends came over. And Donna and Kelly and Harry and Joey had friends. I haven't been down yet. There's 2 Donnas.
Okay, you're waiting for yours, Alexis. There were 2 Donnas at your house.
No, 1 Donna at mine.
1 Donna.
And there was a Kelly.
Did they come for a play day?
I'm going to bet it was my mummy's friend. Look, a big blob of... Look at my hand. Will mine to maybe Kim?
Okay.
Yeah, you did it.
What are you going to do with it first, do you think?
The shot from hands. Oh, he went. I know for my mum.
Okay, let's do some rolling.
Lucky.
Can you roll your Play-Doh?
I wanted my mum to your big size.
Nathaniel's rolling his on the table. What shape is Nathaniel making like that?
Sausage. I've already got mine into a ball. Mine is a fat
You've made yours
sausage.
into a ball, Emma.
Mine is a fat sausage.
Fat sausage.
Mine is a fat sausage. No one. Look at my sausage.
Oh, tell me about your sausage.
It's a banana.
It's a banana.
Mom, my fish. I'm going to keep on until it gets so big. Mom, I'm going to have a pancake.
You're making a pan. Can I just take this off the table?
I'm going to punch mine. Punch. I was going to have a ball.
What happens when you punch them? We're using our hands today. You've got to think of ways.
I know how to make a pancake in the air.
You've made yours into a swing, Gracie.
I'm going to make mine into a ball.
What have you made yours into?
Look how long mine is getting. Oh my God.
Let's have a look and see if Jara's is longer or shorter than Alexis's. Do you think it's longer or shorter?
Longer.
Would you like, let's put them together and see. Jara's is the longest. Could you make yours longer, Alexis, do you think?
You just need to keep it rolling.
How can you make it longer?
You have to roll it. Keep rolling. I'm making your pancake. Oh, that's yours. Can you just move yours? Mine made the ball.
Move yours sideways.
Have a look at that little one.
Keep one up.
Look at that. Is that bigger than Alexis?
No. Now let's see.
Oh, going to measure them?
Longer. Have a look. Ready?
I think mine is longer.
Almost. Do you want to try and keep going?
Do
Ready?
you want to try yours, Aaron, and see if yours is the same size as Jara's?
I'm not going to do that. Oh, I don't think.
What about you, Emma? Would you like to measure it and see if it's the same size as Jara's?
Can I turn off the Lydia's, please?
So see if yours is. Rosie wants you to take yours over there and see if yours is the same size.
I can't see you place. My name broke yours.
What do you think?
The saddle ball. Just
Squish it together.
my look on.
What do you
Well,
think?
that was longer.
Yours
Keep
looks a
rolling,
bit
Olivia.
longer.
Whatever. They can let it broke its head. They can look at mine.
Oh. Do you think it's longer than Jara's now? Or do you think it's shorter? Or who do you want to measure yours with, Kobe? Jara's. Okay, Jara, can you push yours into the middle a little bit?
How about
Your little tail broke off as well. Can you reach in there, Kobe?
Oh. Jared's is longer.
What's the difference between these two?
One's fat and one's long. Look, I made a skinny.
Good girl.
I made a bowling.
So overall, talking about intentional teaching and having intentions, we've been talking about all kinds of different experiences that can be intentional, and it can happen at different times of the day. So I guess everyone has their own approach to being intentional.
Yes, I think they do, and I think it's up to educators to talk about those things about themselves and think what it means for them. And I think, for me, one of the lovely things about thinking hard around intentional teaching, it's just that we don't just do things because we've always done them. And I think sometimes we perhaps have done things. We've always put paint and Play-Doh out in early childhood services, but sometimes I think we haven't gone back and thought, well, why are we still doing that? And it might be that we have very good reasons for doing that. So I think the term intentional teaching does give us a whole lot of things to think about. It's everything that we do. It does make us stop and think. It's not just about children's experiences. It's about the way we set up, and it is underpinned by what we believe in, how we view children, and I think that's really significant, how we think children should have childhoods in care, and it's all of those things.
And being intentional helps us to focus on the learning and what learning we hope will accrue from this set of experiences.
I think so, and I think for a number of years, perhaps in early childhood, we said, oh, anything goes, and, perhaps we just let children do what they feel like doing. But intentional teaching is really about active engagement with the educator, having a plan, being able to adapt that plan as the needs of children change and grow. But it is about saying there are some things to teach in early childhood and being able to express that and teach them.
Well, thank you, Judy. That's been a fantastic conversation. And we hope that these materials will be a valuable resource for all kinds of early childhood settings to inspire conversations and reflections.